Here we are at our last lesson, and this is just a review lesson. Before we get started, I'd like to just say it's been fun working with you, and I hope that you've enjoyed learning about X-word grammar and about being able to analyze sentences. I think it's a great skill to have, and I hope that you'll see that you'll be using this kind of information in your thinking about language will never be the same from now on. So let's get started with our review, and you'll have a chance to check your knowledge and your skill in doing this. So why don't you take a look at the first sentence, analyze it, and when you're done, come back and we'll look at it together. Because human beings pick up knowledge quickly, shifter, the most lasting concepts in our minds must include information that helps us to survive. So the X word is must. Must, the most lasting concepts in our mind, is the subject. And everything left is the predicate. So must ties with the present. Must ties with include. That's the base form. The M place is empty, and Y is include information that helps us to survive in the world. Verb phrase, no time. Let's rewrite our verb phrase. Include information that helps us to survive in the world. Include is the verb, the particle place is empty, and information that helps us to survive in the world is the object. It's a noun phrase. The complement place is empty. Let's continue looking at our noun phrase. Information that helps us to survive in the world. Information is the head, noun phrase, and that helps us to survive in the world is a modifier. It's an adjectival included sentence. And you can see how many layers and how many levels down we're going to need to go. Helps us to survive in the world. And the includer is that does not help. Does that help? And the includer is sitting in the subject place. The predicate, the M place, Y, and let's look at the ties. Helps ties with the subject, helps ties with the present, S form. Y is a verb phrase with time. Let's rewrite that. Helps us to survive in the world. Helps is the verb. The particle place is empty. Now us is an object. It's a noun phrase. And to is the particle. Survive in the world is a second object, and this is a verb phrase, no time. Survive in the world, and survive is the verb. The particle place is empty, the object place is empty, and in the world is a complement. It's a prepositional phrase. Let's continue a little bit more. Okay, now let's take the prepositional phrase in the world, and the preposition is in. The world is the object of the preposition. That's a noun phrase. And the world is the noun phrase. Here's our noun phrase head. And the is a determiner. Okay, we've taken care of our trunk. And now it's time to take a look at our shifter. Because human beings pick up knowledge quickly. Because is the includer. Let's go with a different color because we're going to get mixed up here. And X word places. Human beings is the subject. Predicate. M place and Y. Pick ties with the subject, and pick ties to the present. This is the no-s form. So Y is a verb phrase with time. Let's rewrite the Y. Pick up knowledge quickly. Pick up knowledge quickly. And pick is the verb, up is the particle, and pick up is an idiom, and up and pick work together to create this idea of learn, maybe. Knowledge is the object, it's a noun phrase. Quickly is the complement, it's an adverb phrase. Okay, I think the only thing left now is the subject, and let's continue with that one. This is a good thing I'm using longer paper here. Okay, so the most lasting concept, the most lasting concepts in our minds. And now, the most lasting concepts in our minds. Concepts is the head. That's the noun phrase. In our minds is a modifier, prepositional phrase. And the is a determiner. Most lasting works together, and that would be we're going to call it an adjective phrase, but actually lasting is a verb form. And let's rewrite that. most lasting. And I think what we'll do is we'll call lasting the adjective phrase head. Most is an adjective phrase. And this one, this is a problem here. It's working like an adjective because that's where it is, but it's really a verb phrase. No time. Okay, I think, oh, and then we have in our minds. In our minds is a prepositional phrase. In is the preposition. The object of the preposition is a noun phrase. And let's rewrite that again. Our minds is the head, noun phrase, and our is a determiner. This one is a very interesting one because normally if lasting was alone, if for example the lasting concepts, I would definitely call it a verb phrase with no time. Here I'm having a little trouble because we don't usually have an adjective describing a verb. So I didn't know how to really name it. So I called it an adjective phrase, and then most lets us, that kind of all fits together pretty nicely. Then you can have most describing this adjective, like most beautiful. But in the end, it really is a verb phrase with no time. So please, let's take a look at the next sentence. People living in the past constantly faced perils in their environment and in their lives. Analyze that sentence down to the individual words, and when you're done, come back and we'll take a look at it together. So, people living in the past constantly faced perils in their environment and in their lives. Now, I don't see any shifters, so let's look for the X word. I don't see that either, but it's did. Did people living in the past constantly face? And people living in the past did not constantly face. Living in the past is our subject, and everything left is the predicate. Now the M place is constantly, and faced perils in their environment. Now face ties with the past. It's the past form. Y is a verb phrase with time. So faced perils. In their environment. And in their lives. Faced is the verb, particle place is empty, and perils in their environment and in their lives is the object. And I'm going to say the complement place is empty. Perils is a noun phrase. And let's rewrite that. Perils in their environment and in their lives. And I'm going to analyze it as a noun phrase with a modifier. Now, if you analyzed it as perils as the object and in their environment and in their lives is the complement, excuse me, I think that would be fine too. Either of them would be good ways to do it. I like this way because then it explains a little bit more about what kind of perils instead of explaining where they were. So let's, maybe we'll go with this interpretation since I've already written it down. And now I notice we have a coordinator and we have a in their lives prepositional phrase on one side and in their environment prepositional phrase on the other. So this coordinator is this modifier is compound prepositional phrases. Let's rewrite one at a time. In their environment, and we'll do this one first. Preposition. The object of the preposition is a noun phrase. The noun phrase, their environment. And environment is the head, the noun phrase, and there is a determiner. Let's look at the other prepositional phrase. In their lives, and in is the preposition. Their lives is the object of the preposition. It's a noun phrase. Their lives, noun phrase head, lives, and there is a determiner. Okay, that takes care of the predicate. And now let's take a look at subject. People living in the past. And people is the head. It's a noun phrase. Living in the past is a modifier. It's a verb phrase, no time. It's the ing form. Living in the past. And because it's a verb phrase, let's look for the verb, the particle, the object, and the complement place. In the past is a prepositional phrase. In the past, in is the preposition. The object of the preposition is the past. That's a noun phrase. And last step, we write the noun phrase, show the head, label it, and label all the modifiers and name them. Done. Please take a look at the next sentence. We are not completely aware of how life treated those ancient civilizations, and analyze it and come back. So, we are not completely aware of how life treated those ancient civilizations. No shifters. R is the X word. We is the subject. Everything left is the predicate. The M place, not. Completely M. And aware of how life treated those ancient civilizations is Y. Whoops, okay. R ties with the subject. R ties with the present. There are no more ties, so there's no verb in Y. Now, aware is an adjective. So, why is an adjective phrase. Let's rewrite the why. Aware of how life treated those ancient civilizations. Now, aware is the head. It's an adjective. And of how life treated those ancient civilizations is a modifier to explain what kind of aware. That's a prepositional phrase. Let's rewrite our prepositional phrase of how life treated those ancient civilizations. And of is the preposition. And I think this is the first time we're looking at something like this. The object of the preposition is a nominal included sentence. So let's take a look at our nominal included sentence. How life treated those ancient civilizations and how is the includer? I don't see any shifters. Did life treat? Life did not treat. Life is the subject. Predicate, M place, and Y. Treated ties with the past. It's the past form. Y is a verb phrase with time. We'll rewrite that Y. Treated those ancient civilizations and treated is the verb. Particle place is empty. Those ancient civilizations is the object, noun phrase, and the complement place is empty. Those ancient civilizations and civilizations is the noun phrase head. Ancient is a modifier, it's an adjective phrase, and those is a determiner. Those ancient civilizations. We is a noun phrase, and it's already down to the individual words, so we're done. Let's continue. Please stop the video, take a look at the next sentence, and when you're ready, come back and we'll analyze it together. Mail delivery occurs on a very regular schedule, rain or shine. I'm going to call rain or shine my shifter. Rain or shine, mail delivery occurs on a very regular schedule. So now, does mail delivery occur? Mail delivery does not occur, and mail delivery is the subject. Occurs on a very regular schedule is the predicate. The M place is empty, and everything left is Y. Occurs ties with the subject. Occurs ties with the present. and it's the S form. Verb phrase with time. Let's rewrite the Y. Occurs on a very regular schedule. Occurs on a very regular schedule. Occurs is the verb. Particle place is empty. Object place is empty. On a very regular schedule is the complement. It's a prepositional phrase. On a very regular schedule. And on is the preposition. A very regular schedule is the object of the preposition. It's a noun phrase. A very regular schedule. Schedule is the noun phrase head. A is a determiner. And very regular is one modifier. It's an adjective phrase. Very regular we can break down to the individual word level. And regular is the adjective phrase head. And very is the adverb phrase. Now let's do the subject. Mail delivery. And mail delivery is a noun phrase. Delivery is the noun phrase head. And mail is a noun phrase modifier. The last thing we need to do is the shifter, rain or shine. And rain or shine looks like compound noun phrases. And these are already individual words, so we're done. Please stop the video and let's continue. It does not surprise me that tens of millions of wishful individuals play lotto each week. It does not surprise me that tens of millions of wishful individuals play lotto each week. Now, I'm not going to say that each week it does not surprise me. That's really not the idea. So each week is not a shifter for this sentence. So let's take a look. We have our X word, does. Does it not surprise me that tens of millions of wishful individuals? And I'm going to say that the predicate is here. It does not surprise me. And that tens of millions of wishful individuals play lotto each week is our postponed subject. And we'll take care of that later. So first, let's take a look at our ties. It does, it with the sub with the present. And surprise is the base form. The not is the end place, and surprise me is why. That's a verb phrase, no time. Let's rewrite our verb phrase. Surprise me. And surprise is the verb. the particle place is empty, the object is a noun phrase, and the complement place is empty. We have the filler subject it, and that's just a noun phrase, that's done. So we're ready to take a look at our included sentence. Or well, I didn't say that yet, but let's, okay. That tens of millions of wishful individuals play lotto each week. So I've already said it. The postponed subject is a nominal included sentence. Let's cross off the includer and begin. Now here is where each week becomes a shifter. Each week, tens of millions of wishful individuals play lotto. So do tens of millions of wishful individuals play lotto, and tens of millions of wishful individuals do not play lotto. Here is our subject, and everything left, play lotto, is the predicate. Now the M place is empty, and Y is play lotto. Play ties with the subject, play ties with the present, and play is the no-s form of the verb. So we can say Y is a verb phrase with time. Now let's take a look at our Y. I'll bring it over here. Play lotto, and play is the verb, no particle. Lotto is the object, noun phrase. Complement place is empty. And let's take care of why don't we take care of the shifter? Each week. Week is the noun phrase head. And each, I'm going to put it in the group of determiners. Okay, now we just have the subject left to do. Tens of millions of wishful individuals. So tens is the head. It's a noun phrase because we're actually treating it like a number, tens. And then it's tens of millions of wishful individuals is the modifier. That's a prepositional phrase. Let's rewrite our prepositional phrase of millions of wishful individuals, and of is the preposition. Millions of wishful individuals is the object of the preposition, and that also is a noun phrase. Let's rewrite it. And we'll give ourselves a little bit more room here. Push that up a little bit. Millions of wishful individuals, and millions is the head, and millions is also a noun phrase. Of wishful individuals, prepositional phrase, and let's rewrite that. of wishful individuals. Preposition is of. Wishful individuals is the object of the preposition. That's a noun phrase. And last, wishful individuals. Individuals is the noun phrase head. And wishful is the modifier. It's an adjective phrase. So this was an interesting one. We have tens of millions. Prepositional phrase, noun phrase, prepositional phrase, noun phrase. And that's how English looks. The same kinds of phrases inside each other, combined in different ways. Please stop the video and let's take a look at the next sentence. If someone wins the current Super Lotto jackpot, that very fortunate person will never need to work again because the winning ticket is valued at $500 million at this moment. So let's start with shifters, one on each end. And let's look at the trunk. The X word is will. Will that very fortunate person? That very fortunate person is the subject. And everything left is the predicate. Will ties with the present. Will ties with need, base form. Never is in the end place, and need to work again is why. That's a verb phrase, no time. Let's rewrite our verb phrase. Need to work again, need to work again. And we'll find the verb, particle, object, that's a verb phrase, no time. Oh, okay, excuse me, and I'm going to put that together with again, sorry. Complement place is empty. Let's rewrite the object. Work again. The verb is work. Particle place is empty. Object place is empty. And again is the complement. It's an adverb phrase. And let's take a look at the subject here. That very fortunate person. That's a noun phrase. Person is the noun phrase head. That is a determiner. Very fortunate works like one modifier. It's an adjective phrase. And very fortunate can be rewritten, and fortunate is now the adjective phrase head, and very is the adverb phrase. There's our trunk. Now, let's take a look at our front shifter first, maybe. If someone wins the current Super Lotto jackpot. Now, if is the includer. Does someone win? Someone does not win. Someone is the subject. The M place is empty. Wins the current lotto. Wins ties with someone. Wins ties with the present. Wins is the S form. Y is a verb phrase with time. Wins the current Super Lotto jackpot. Wins is the verb. The particle place is empty. And the current Super Lotto jackpot is our object. It's a noun phrase. The complement place is empty. The current Super Lotto jackpot, and we'll find the head, jackpot, that's a noun phrase, and we'll find the modifiers, the, determiner. Current is an adjective phrase, and Super Lotto is a noun phrase, and because it's more than one word, we'll rewrite it. And we'll show the head, lotto, that's our noun phrase head, and super is the modifier, it's an adjective phrase. Okay, we've taken care of the trunk, we took care of the front shifter, and now, excuse me, now let's take a look at the end shifter. Because the winning ticket is valued at $1/2 billion at this moment. So let's take out our includer, and now we'll be able to check this and analyze it just like a regular sentence. So we'll start with the shifters at this moment, and let me change colors here. X word is the winning ticket, so the winning ticket is the subject. The predicate is valued at $1/2 million, and is ties with the subject, is ties with the present, and is ties with valued. Valued is the DTN form. This is a passive sentence. The M place is empty, and Y is a verb phrase, no time. So let's look at our Y. Valued at $1/2 billion. Valued is the verb. Particle place is empty. Object place is empty. And we have at $1/2 billion as our complement. That's a prepositional phrase. So let's rewrite that. At $1/2 billion dollars. At is the preposition. The object of the preposition is a noun phrase. 1/2 billion dollars, and dollars is the head. That's our noun phrase. 1/2 billion all works together is one modifier. It's an adjective phrase. It's a number. And let's rewrite that. 1/2 billion. We'll make billion our adjective phrase head, and 1/2 modifies the billion. Oh, okay, I gotta that up a little bit higher. Okay, and 1/2 is an adjective phrase. We need to rewrite 1/2, and half now becomes the head, and 1 the modifier. So let's see what's left here. I think we have 2 more phrases. Why don't we do the subject next? The winning ticket. And ticket is the noun phrase head. The is a determiner. And winning is a noun phrase, is a verb phrase, no time. It's the ing form. And the last one is the end shifter. At this moment. At is the preposition. This moment is the object of the preposition, noun phrase. This moment. Moment is the noun phrase head. And this is a modifier that's a determiner. There we go. Please stop the video and let's continue with another sentence. This is quite a review. I know it's a lot of sentences to do, but when we're done, I think you're going to feel really comfortable that you're confident with this. So return when you're ready and we'll take a look at it together. Okay. I have already given up winning a lottery since I rarely buy a ticket. Since I rarely buy a ticket, I have already given up winning a lottery. There's our shifter. And now let's look for our 2 X word places. The subject and the predicate. The M place, the Y, and the ties. We'll rewrite our Y. Given is the verb, up is the particle, and winning a lottery is the object. It's a verb phrase, no time, and the complement place is empty. Winning a lottery Winning is the verb, the particle, the object, noun phrase, and the complement. Let's take a look at our shifter. We'll rewrite that. And the shifter, by the way, is an adverbial included sentence. Since I rarely buy a ticket, since is the includer, do I rarely, I do not rarely, and I is the subject. Rarely is in the M place, and buy a ticket is Y. Now buy ties with the subject, buy ties with the present. Buy is the no S form. So Y is a verb phrase, no time. We'll rewrite our verb phrase, buy a ticket. And buy is the verb. The particle place is empty. A ticket is the object. It's a noun phrase. Complement place is empty. And last, a ticket. Ticket is the noun phrase head. And the determiner. There's our sentence. And we have, I think, just a few short ones left to go. So please stop the video, analyze. Maybe you want to just analyze both of these sentences. And when you come back, we'll take a look at the last two sentences and say goodbye. I have enjoyed working with you this semester, and that's really the truth. This semester, I have enjoyed working with you. Have I enjoyed working with you this semester? And we now know our predicate. Now, the M place is here between have and enjoyed, and Y is enjoyed working with you. Have ties with the subject. Have ties with the present. And have ties with enjoyed. It's the DTN form. Y is a verb phrase, no time. Let's rewrite our verb phrase. Working with you. Working is the verb. Particle place is empty. The object place is empty, and with you is the object. It's a prepositional phrase. Oops, excuse me. Objects can never be prepositional phrases. It's the complement. Okay. And with you, with is the preposition, and you is the object of the preposition. It's a noun phrase. Let's take a look at the shifter this semester. It's a noun phrase. Semester is the noun phrase head. And this is a modifier. It's a determiner. Done. And last sentence, and again, this is really the truth. I hope that you've liked the class and found it useful to you. I think that you'll find that you're going to be a much stronger reader, a stronger writer, and you're going to have a lot more control over the language than you did before, because now you're aware of how sentences and phrases are put together. And now that you know the choices you have, you're going to have a larger repertoire of sentences you can produce. I hope that you've liked the class and found it useful to you. Now, I don't see any shifters, so let's start by finding our 2x word places. Do I hope? I do not hope. I is the subject. Everything left is the predicate. Now, the M place is empty, and Y is hope that you've liked the class and found it useful. So hope ties with the subject, and hope ties with the present. Hope is a verb phrase with time. It's the no-s form. The Y, hope that you have liked the class and found it useful to you. So hope is the verb, the particle place is empty, and what do I hope? I hope that you have liked the class and found it useful to you is the object, nominal included sentence, the complement place is empty. That you have liked the class and found it useful to you. The includer is that. There are no shifters. Have you have, you is the subject, and everything left is the predicate. Have ties with you, have ties with the present, have ties with liked. It's the DTN form. Now, before I stop, I better take a look and see. We do have a coordinator, so maybe I should see what are we putting together. Now, on this side, I have found it useful to you. So on this side, I should also have something the same. Now, found it useful to you is some verb phrase, but on the other side, I have the DTN form verb phrase. So I think that this also is a DTN form, and it ties with have also. So found is another DTN form, just like this DTN form liked. So like the class is Y, and found it useful to you is Y. So we actually have compound verb phrases with no time in the Y place. Let's do one at a time. Liked the class, and liked is the verb. The particle place is empty. The class is the object. Noun phrase. Complement place is empty. And let's take a look at our object, the class. Class is the head. Noun phrase. The is a determiner. And we're done. Let's rewrite the other y. Found it useful. Found it useful to you. And found is the verb. Particle. Found it is the complement, is the object. It's a noun phrase. And useful to you is the complement. It's a adjective phrase. Let's rewrite our adjective phrase. Useful to you. The head is useful. That's our adjective phrase. And to you is a prepositional phrase modifier. We'll rewrite our prepositional phrase to you. We'll show the preposition, the object of the preposition, a noun phrase. And now we're done. So once again, I hope that you really have found this class useful, and I hope that you won't forget what we've done in this class, and that you'll be able to apply it to other things that you do involving the language, which is just about everything. So it's been a pleasure. Have a wonderful vacation, and I hope maybe one day to see you again. Bye.